we are back. We switched our hats from the NBA to the NFL, and we switched guests as well, Tyler. Right now, we have Titletown with us, of course. You know Title from seeing him at the top of the leaderboard of the best ball standings and other great achievements over in the DFS world. And Monday is one of my favorite shows. Uncle T, catch that. One of my favorite shows to do every single week as we review what we saw on the weekend. And unfortunately, guys, it's our last time hanging out with Title this year because it'll be our last Monday night football game of the year. But we've had a great time all year. And of course, we get out our hot takes. We get to talk about Jimmy G, Mike Tomlin, Aaron Rodgers, the Yinzers. It's always a fun show here. Bill Miner gives a great point. Hit the like as you come in, and away we go. Title, we were talking about how you're spending all this money you won, and I was talking about home improvement. Settle a debate for me before we dive into the football. Now, I want to soundproof my office because as Tyler so eloquently mentioned on the NBA rundown, I am an old man, and I like my peace and quiet. So I wanted to soundproof this office. Do you think that would make my house value increase, or do you think that people just would not care about that?
Sounds like a sharp move just for yourself, and that's all that matters. I think you got to do it. You want to do it clearly. You work hard at this. You want your peace and quiet. I don't like hearing lawnmowers going in the back half the shows on the show either. So yeah, I say let's get it done.
All right, so we do agree that we're soundproofing there, and that way I can listen to my elevator music in peace. Right? Tyler thinks that Mozart, Bach, and Beethoven belong in elevators. So enough of my.
That's what jokes. You listen to.
See.
I listen to classical music while I'm writing and doing my numbers. It's good for your brain. I listen to rap while I'm working out. But I mean, like, while I'm doing my numbers, do I really need to hear
I during the stream
some rapper talking about how he shoots people and how much money he makes?
No, but I didn't know Beethoven, and that's pretty wide spectrums you're switching to back and forth from.
Tyler calls it elevator music, but
I agree.
Yeah,
he's on my side.
Yeah, I know. And I'm the last generation. Well, maybe as you guys get older, you'll start to appreciate it. No, it's really good for your brain. Even like, when you young studs, you get a girl pregnant later in your life, you're supposed to play classical music on their belly. It's supposed to make the baby smarter. So you put headphones on the girl's belly. So that's my pro tip for the day. Yeah, that's my pro tip. And Title, with all that money you made, you're probably eligible to be needing that tip here pretty soon. What did you say, Tyler?
I said if my kid comes out dumb, I'm blaming you.
That's a good one.
All right. I'll take that. Let's move into the games that we saw this weekend. The first game we saw, we had a good first half, right? Seahawks kept it close for the first half, right? Pete Carroll doing it for the old man. I can imagine he was listening to some Beethoven while he's making that game plan. The game plan looked good, but then the 49ers showed why. In my mind, they're the class of the NFC. They blew them away. Purdy has poise, man. All my Jimmy G truth or tricks are just disintegrating like Thanos snapped, right? I mean, there goes my Jimmy G, that he's so important to this team because this team looks even better with him behind the helm. I want to give the Seahawks credit for fighting. They had so much less talent. I thought they gave a great effort there. But at the end of the day, the 49ers get it done. Looks like a Super Bowl team to me. What do you think, Title?
Oh, yeah, definitely a Super Bowl team. I mean, I picked them to win the Super Bowl 2 weeks ago when we were doing all these breakdowns. I mean, I still was not confident. I think it's so wide open. I really do. But, man, I didn't want to pick the Eagles, which is why I went Niners. The team's complete. Purdy, don't turn over the football. Use your legs. He's doing a lot more than all that. He's a gamer out there. But McCaffrey's just so good. Get Debo in space. Ayuk, Kittle. Don't make mistakes. Stay ahead of the
dude. When Ayuk is your fourth best option,
yeah, I mean, he can take a slant route to the house. I mean,
yeah,
limit mistakes. Stay ahead of the chains. Your defense play. I mean, the defense is the little concern. I definitely have some concern there. Eagles can get in a shootout with them, but I mean, if the Niners can put up points like this, they're tough.
I'm not necessarily concerned, man. DK Metcalf is impossible to cover for anybody, right? There's no corner in the league that can just match up with him physically. So the fact that he was able to get loose. Kenneth Walker, one of the best running backs I've seen, man. I think he's underrated. The guy, there's constantly where they don't give him much blocking, and he still makes it a 5-yard gain. He's so good. He makes the cuts right at the right time. I didn't downgrade the defense at all for that performance. Tyler, I thought the 49ers looked good. What did you think?
I think they look good to a point, but I agree with Title. The defense kind of worried me because over the last couple of weeks in the regular season, they didn't look all that good. And you thought maybe they'd flip the switch right back into the playoffs and just lock down the Seattle team, but they still let them move the ball through the air. Now, you look around the
But
NFC.
that's not going to happen next week.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to. I was like, you look around the NFC, it's like the teams that were going to beat you through the air, there was maybe one, and they were going to maul the quarterback anyway on that team, and they're not around anymore. So is it going to be Philly that can air it out on them? Is somehow Brady going to stay upright if he can air it out on him, if he plays them? So they got a nice inside path, and then your Jimmy G take spread, it's dead. It's been stomped out. It's thrown in the trash because all three of us on this panel can play quarterback for San Fran. Those guys are wide open at half the game. I can get up out of this chair and go snap the ball in a San Fran offense, and somebody's going to be running across the middle wide open. Every time Purdy throws it, there's not a guy within 5 yards of him. And, I mean, Debo looks like the dude off Family Guy that's covered in butter and guys can't tackle him. He's just slipping off of everybody. Kittle's just pushing people around. The running backs are just bullying people. I mean, they are the most complete team. Purdy looks good, but until Purdy's holding that trophy above his head and doesn't make any mistakes till the end, I'm still going to say there's always that outside chance that he just shits the bed.
Yeah, I mean, we've said that every week, though. Now it's his first playoff start, and he looked fantastic. As far as Jimmy G, you know what's awesome about the NFL is I think next year we get a real referendum on him and my guy Jared.
I think he stays. Right? That's my hot take.
No, how?
Give me $5 million. I'll sit back up this kid. Why would I want to go play in New York and play in the cold and get bitched at every time we lose? Why would I want to go
who
play?
Stays?
Jimmy G. I think they ransom Trey Lance off. If you're Baltimore right now looking around and you're like, we need a new quarterback, and San Fran says, hey, you want this guy? He fits your offense. He's got a cannon arm. You could build him however you want. He's been in the league 1 year. We barely used him. Take him. Baltimore will take him.
Definitely.
All right. That'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I think he'll be somewhere else. And we'll
the other outside rumor to that trade is Lamar comes back to San Fran, and Lamar in that offense with those weapons. Good luck.
Why would you not just run it back with Purdy?
I agree, but if you could put Lamar in that offense, that offensive line, what do you do when they run a triple option at you at that, and Debo and CMC are following them? Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say to that.
There's no way to stop it. It's like a cheating Madden play.
All right. Let's talk about the best game of the night or the weekend in my mind. It was a lot of fun, and I thought I was going to suck. I texted my buddy at 17-0, like, well, today sucked, right? Because, you know, the Seahawks were fun, but was there much drama? And I'm talking about from a fan's perspective. Was there much drama in the second half? No. I mean, it didn't even look like they were going to cover. Looked like the Jaguars were just going to blow it too. I flipped over to NBA for a little while. I flipped back. I said, okay, look at these guys. They're having a nice little third quarter. Let me see this. And then Trevor Lawrence gets it done at the end. They win 31-30. Another in historic ineptitude for the Los Angeles Chargers. And I'll tell you what, it couldn't happen to a better guy. The owner, Dean Spanos, is cheap. He turned his back on a San Diego team that supported him for years to go to LA and have 14 fans? Just stupid. So, and they've always been cheap. And you know what? When I was a kid, I was pissed that Eli didn't want to go there. I was like, that's not right. That's not sportsmanlike. You should go to the team you're drafted. Now that I'm my age and I see how the Chargers are run, kudos to you, Eli. I wouldn't want to play for that franchise either. That's
he
just
definitely got the word from
man.
His brother and his dad. He's like, you are not playing for that guy.
Yeah, and he's just a bad human being, right? I mean, I know that Dan Snyder's so bad that he gets overshadowed, but really, I can't think of someone who's getting his just desserts more than Dean Spanos, collecting all his talent every year and just blowing it. So while I'm happy for the Jaguars, I'm even happier to see the Chargers fail once again. Title, I know you're high on the Chargers because of all this talent, right? But something has to be said for a team that consistently is top 5 in the league in talent, but can't do much when it comes to making noise in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, you can't keep backing up Staley. I mean, the dude's got to go, figure it out, got it top to bottom, just tear it down. I mean, you have the talent. You definitely do. I mean, Tyler was talking about Sean Payton. Now, obviously, it doesn't look like it's going to be the Chargers, but if Sean Payton went to the Chargers, like, we'd all be on the bandwagon again. I think the odds would be good. Like, so, I mean, you're saying they're one piece away like that from a coaching perspective, I'll keep buying it on the talent. Eckler's one of the top running backs in the league. Herbert, one of the top quarterbacks. Keenan and Mike, when they're like Derwin, they have talent. There's no arguing that.
The thing is, when you listen to these guys interview, and Sean Payton's one of them, right? And I like Lombardi. I know some people don't like Lombardi, but I personally really like his pod. And they talk about when coaches and general managers are looking for squads, they don't care about who's on the team because they can redo the roster once they get there. They care about the ownership because that's the one thing that they can't change. And I just think that a guy like Sean Payton isn't going to want to work for Dean Spanos, who has a 30-year history of being cheap, being disloyal. I mean, look what he did to his San Diego fans. I'll be interested to see who they get in there as a coach because I think we all agree that they need to move on from Staley. I'm not even saying that Staley's head coaching career is done. Maybe he goes, learns some more as an assistant, comes back a little older, and is able to get things done. I think he's in over his head right now, and I think that was evident. Even in the Week 18 decision to play Mike Williams. It's a 1-point game. Could have that been the difference? Yeah, to me it could have been. So you look, and you can put a lot of these deficiencies that the Chargers have straight to their decision-making. Tyler, I don't want to just bag on the Chargers the whole time, though. Do we want to talk good about the Jaguars? What do you think about them next week?
Yeah, I mean, next week, I think they're dead. I think if anybody was going into Arrowhead and having a chance, it was the divisional rival team.
Yeah, I agree there.
So I'm not trusting the Jags. It was good to see them. It was almost like they played 2 playoff games in one. They played with their hair on fire in the first half. They couldn't do a single thing right. He's throwing interceptions left and right. They finally get a stop and force a punt, and the punt returner can't find the ball in the air, and it bounces right off the top of his head. So they look like they were just going to get blown apart that game. But then they score that touchdown right before half. I don't know about you guys, but I looked at the guy next to me watching the game. I said, this has the feeling of a game that's not over yet. This is the Chargers. They're known to blow it.
The Chargers. That's the only reason.
You looked at the score. It was 27-7. It's like 3 touchdowns. They're up by 1. Chargers happened to kick a field goal, so they needed one, and then they went and got it, won the game. So, I mean, Big T called it on Twitter. I seen he got on the money line at halftime. That was a great call.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Chargers are going to Charger. That's the best way to put it. They always blow games, Brett. I swear my whole life, this team has been penciled in to be a great team. And then
my life's twice as long as yours, and it's been the same.
Yeah, so they've been just doing it forever. But I still think there's a chance Sean Payton gets in there. I think he kind of crossed them off his list when the Chargers made the playoffs, thinking Staley would hold his job. But after what's happened in the last 2 weeks, I think that spot opens back up.
Just from hearing his interviews as he's making the rounds on all the Fox Sports radio hits that he does, I think he might be contracted with him. I don't know. But it seems like ownership is a big deal to him. I would expect him to go.
How's Dallas on the list then?
That's my only argument. Isn't he from Dallas?
How can a man play for Jerry Jones?
And do we know that Dallas is on his list, or that Dallas is like the Lakers that just puts every name out there?
No, Dallas has been on his list. It was the main targeted team for him for a while.
I'm on that. I think it's because he's from Dallas. He's a Texan, native Texan, right? That's where he grew up.
That is a good possibility, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. Tyler doesn't think the Jaguars have a chance to cover this +8 here, and I know you're not a betting man, but we're just having some fun here. -8 now against the Kansas City Chiefs. Do you think the Jaguars can keep this close and cover, or are the Chiefs going to blow them out?
I think they got a chance to cover. I think they can give them a fight. Trevor Lawrence, ETN, Ingram, Kirk. I mean, you guys know me. You guys know I look at talent. I bet on talent. Yeah, it's a tall task, no doubt about it. But this isn't the Chiefs team with like Tyreek, like Scantling, Tony. Like there's some Juju hasn't been great. There is more unknowns. If you take away Kelsey, you stop the run, you make those guys beat you. I mean, yeah, I'm not right now Jacksonville. I think the game will be closer than people think. I'm excited for it. I like what Jacksonville's got going. Doug Peterson, I like what he's doing with the team. Defense can fly around. They got athletes everywhere. I'm excited for it.
All right. I hope you're right, Title.
One kickback on that. If Jacksonville turns the ball over half the times they did in the first game.
Oh, they can't play like that.
They got to clean that up.
The Chiefs do not let that happen. They will hold that ball and make sure that they don't get it back to win that game.
Yeah. No, yeah, they can't play like that. No doubt.
All right. Well, let's talk about you mentioned Tyreek. Tyreek went to a new team this season. He went to the Miami Dolphins. To me, he was their MVP, man. I think this team's like 5-12 without him. Let's give the Dolphins credit, man. I thought they were going to get blown out. I thought they were going to get blown out, especially watching the 7 seed on Saturday and how really, I mean, I know that they kept it close in the first half, but really it wasn't a competitive game. I thought the same thing was going to happen. These 7 seeds don't deserve to be here. I don't care. This is a division game. Buffalo's way better. But we talk about turnovers, man. Josh Allen got bit by that turnover bug again. That kept Miami alive. Miami doesn't win the game. They cover the spread. And to me, they acquitted themselves well and gained some momentum going into next season. You know, I think losing 34-31 is different than losing 34-13, right? So they got to feel good. Skylar Thompson, right? Maybe he's given Tua the Jimmy G award over there, right? Stepping, hey, you go into these great systems with these Shanahan minds, and anyone can get it done. I thought he looked great. Title, let's start with you, man. I know that you love talent. Miami Dolphins had it, and they almost pulled the upset. What were you thinking when you were watching that game? Miami was live.
Man, Skyler was balling. I mean, the stats didn't really show it, but he was like Jalen Waddle could have made some of these guys could have made. They were tough catches. They were contested catches, but Skyler gave him a chance. And when you're 13-point dogs, a 7 seed I mean, you need to make those plays.
Exactly.
They were a couple plays away from winning that game. So they have nothing to hang their head on. I saw they do expect Tua to be their starting quarterback in 2023. Man, I mean, I hope his health's good. This team's good with Tua, but is he really going to be like – I feel more confident Kyler can play a full 17 than I do Tua, and that's scary to say. So they needed definitely a good backup. They did well with a third stringer. This team showed a lot of promise.
They can run Skyler back as the backup now, right? Because I'd rather have the guy that knows the system, knows the players. I
guess, but I mean, if you don't think Tua can play 7 – I don't know how many games – I mean, he played a solid game, but I'm still not sold that this guy can be a competent backup quarterback. So I don't know.
Did you downgrade the Bills as far as thinking they chance? Because I didn't think it was a great performance from Buffalo.
They still have all the talent in the world. Kansas, I'm not completely sold on Kansas City. Bengals didn't look great. They're still 4.5-point favorites there, so I think they get through this game. And yeah, I don't know. I don't think any team really is. I think every team has some flaws where they don't show up in NFC and AFC. If they don't show up on playing their best football, we can see upsets everywhere. That's why I kind of lean taking more dogs now that talking through it, like heading out, like from here on out to the Super Bowl than favorites. I feel like we see close games.
Yeah, dogs did great this weekend. Did all 3 cover yesterday?
You know what else did great this weekend?
Yeah.
Every single game went over.
Wow, I didn't think about that. Wow, that's nice. All right, that's good. No, I didn't even know that.
Up until the night game, the lowest scoring team had 23 points.
Wow.
And that was Seattle, right?
Yep. And now it's Baltimore sitting at 17.
What did you think of Buffalo, Tyler?
They worried me a little bit. I mean,
I didn't think they looked that good, man. That didn't look like a Super Bowl team to me.
They didn't. Josh Allen still turning over the ball in dumb plays. But my one kickback to that is it's a divisional game. Miami's defense does create a lot of turnovers. They've seen them twice this year. They can kind of game plan a little better, but that does worry me how bad the defense looked. I don't really give Thompson much of any credit here. I mean, the turnovers kind of baited them into a ton of points. They got a defensive touchdown. The wide receivers dropping the passes was bad, but I don't think either of them guys was 100% coming into this game. I think both of those guys were banged up. You could just tell neither of the guys were able to really get separation. Those two just run right past guys any other time. So the team was just so beat up on the Miami side that Buffalo played one of their worst games of the year, and they still snuck out a win. So does that wake them up?
Do you raise them up for that, or do we downgrade them? I think it's a good question. I mean, and it's a philosophical question that we can use.
I was going to downgrade them until I seen Cincinnati play. And it was like, all right, now do I really want to downgrade him? Like, since he didn't look all that good either. So I'm just going to wait and see. If the Chiefs come out and pound the Jags, I think they were the clear-cut top 1 seed, deserved it. They were the best team in the AFC. But if they play the Jags close and that's like a 2-point game, I think we got the 3 teams just up top, flip a coin. Wouldn't surprise me if any of them get in.
All right, and that's fair. We'll get to that Bengals game real soon, but let's just keep going in order. Title, one of your favorite players in the league, was not able to put up a big performance. Justin Jefferson and the Minnesota Vikings fall. Their run of luck ended. The Giants get it done. boy, you see the difference between having a coach and a play caller there, right? Brian Daboll is a head coach. He does everything as a leader. Kevin O'Connell, in my mind, and I'm not saying he won't get there, but he's still a play caller to me. And you look at the way that this team defended and the way that this team prepared. And, I really thought it was a great performance from the Giants. I think if the Giants, even if they get blown out this week, and we'll talk about this game after we talk about the Vikings, about their upcoming game against the Eagles, they have to be happy with the direction that their franchise is headed and with the man that they've chosen to be head coach. Tyler, your thoughts on both teams, the Giants, the Vikings? Where do both teams, well, obviously we know the Giants go off to Philadelphia, but where do the Vikings go from here, and how do you think the Giants will do next week?
Yeah, I mean, the Giants is huge for their franchise. I think you're right about Dable. He outcoached them. I mean, Saquon is an absolute monster. Giants had a better D. They took out Jefferson. I mean, Giants played a good football game. Danny Dimes is solid. Finally, they got weapons. It was always earlier in the year, like, who are you throwing to? Absolutely nobody. This Hodgins dude looks good. He looks really good. He's making plays. Richie James in the slot, Slayton. I mean, guys are making plays with Saquon. The box is loaded. This Giants team's fun. I think the Eagles beat them, but we're talking divisional game. We're talking probably pretty cold. We've seen each other multiple times. I mean, it's going to be I think we see a lot of close games this week. I mean, this week is going to be a lot of fun. I think a lot of very good football. As far as the Vikings, I mean, I don't know. We talked about it all year. We didn't really think they were great. You take away Jefferson, what does this team really have? Getting Kurt's face, he doesn't make the best decisions. Doesn't seem like Dalvin's ever running for like 25 touches for 120. Doesn't seem like that's ever that. Like, they have to throw the ball to have success. Defense didn't really step up. It's the Vikings, man. I don't know. Detroit looks like the NFC North team that's going to be exciting in the next couple of years.
Did you have Danny Dimes in your core?
Yeah.
I use your core. I'm in 15th place in the contest I'm in right now. But I don't have anyone from tonight. So obviously I could get caught because I'm completely done.
Yeah,
I love using that Titletown core though, right? Mm-hmm. And if you're not a member of Run for Sports, head on over there. You can be like me, not do a ton of NFL DFS prep. You fire that computer up right before the games. You just go right over Titletown, throw in the 5 players, and then hey, maybe I'll take some stands on players that I like just for me watching football, or maybe I'll just fill in some other names from some other cores that I see. And it's been a great way for me who, I spend 90-something% of my time on betting, right? I'm working on sides. I'm working on totals. Me and Tyler are working on props. DFS is more fun for me. And it just shows how important this tool is to really help you compete against the big boys in daily fantasy. So, Title, thank you for that core. And I'm sure a lot of people watching are thanking you as well as we're sitting at the top of our leaderboards, hoping this game goes under tonight. And that's the bet that I made. Tyler, what are your thoughts here on this Vikings team?
I just wanted to start with, we waited for this moment, Spread. It's just, we knew this Vikings team was a fraud. We got a +3 on the other side. It was like, oh, you're going to love this. It's a team they played earlier in the year, too, so Daboll was able to go over all the adjustments and just get right at this team. And you've seen it from the start. It was like, yep, they got this. Yep. They just went right at them. They couldn't stop anything. Vanilla Vic was running all over him. Saquon scored. It was just, our guys in the chat, Joey Work, it's always the New York Giants. It was a free +130. They move on to go play Philly. Not sure how they fare in that matchup because I know Philly's had their number, but man, the Giants have something to build on here. And I know I was shitting on them earlier in the year. Take all that back. They made me eat my words. Yeah. That coaching staff, I will say this, that's got to be a top 3 staff in the league.
And that's one of the reasons I like Tomlin, right? Watch the players get better. They didn't make any trades, right? It's the same players he had in training camp. You watch that defense now compared to what you saw at the beginning of the year. Let's not downplay this Minnesota Vikings offense. That was a good offense that they shut down. So what does that tell me? That coaching staff is coaching these guys.
We all knew the game plan to stop that offense, though. It was, if you can get
okay, but I mean, a lot of teams have known it, and they won 13 games this year.
A lot of teams can't get the Kurt.
Well, and a lot of teams don't know how to cover Jefferson either. So
Thibodeau,
you got to give these guys credit.
One of my favorite players.
Who?
Kayvon Thibodeau.
Oh, dude, the guy's a stud.
Well,
Oregon
first
Duck,
off,
too.
first off, the
Pac-12.
guy,
Let's
there's
go.
Nick Foles in the pocket and then does snow angels next to him. And then walking off the field yesterday, he's grittying on the Vikings logo. It's like, oh, I can't get enough of this guy.
Yeah, that
Like,
guy.
what's he gonna do next week if they beat Phillies? He can be doing the "Go Birds" chant right from the middle of the field. It's like,
Yeah, well, we talked about fighting against Russell Westbrook earlier. When you're Kayvon Thibodeau, you know that nobody's going to want to have a fight with you. So, I mean, that guy's just a
our guy
stud
who works
in
for
all
the
sense
Chase
of the
is
word.
Danny Dimes elite. Dude's probably the best quarterback that came out of that 2019 draft. It was him. It was Kyler. It was Dwayne Haskins. That was it. He's got to be one.
So he's better than Kyler. That's what you're saying?
He's better than Kyler.
Can't argue with you there. What do you guys think that they're plus 7.5 going against the Eagles next week? Do you think they can cover? Start with you, Title.
I mean, definitely can. I'm on the Eagles side, but again, I'm talking about close games. I'm talking division. I don't know. I like what. I don't know. They definitely can cover. Your question, can they cover? They definitely can cover. I think I'm leaning Eagles, but not strong. Not too strong take there.
What do you think, Tyler? We haven't done our numbers yet, and of course, we'll go over the playbook tomorrow night.
I'm on the Giants. I think they can cover. I think they could win. I'm looking for the quote now. There was a quote that came out from Hurts. He said something about it. It was about his shoulder. He said, "Good thing there was a bye week because that shoulder's not 100%."
It's not 100%. He's also said another thing tells you not 100%. He said, "I played hurt before," so he's telling you that he's hurt.
Yeah, and I don't trust him. I think that shoulder's gonna be messed up. I think the running's gonna be limited. It's also his throwing shoulder. If Buddy's not running the ball effectively, his accuracy's not gonna be there. This could be a very low-scoring game, and it would not surprise me if the Giants win it.
And what if Kayvon just channels his inner dog, the bounty hunter? You know he's gonna be slamming that shoulder.
Oh, he's gonna be all over Hurts. Yeah. So yeah, I think they can win it. I think they do cover though.
All right, so that'll be fun, and of course, we'll dive into that more in depth on Friday with Kurt on Talking
Once
Touchdowns.
I find this quote from Hurts too, I'll bring it back up. We could jump on to the next game though.
All right, you find the quote. I'm telling everyone, hit the thumbs up and head on over to runpuresports.com. You'll get access to the NFL Bets Playbook, the NBA Bets Playbook, and of course, that sweet, sweet core from Titletown that put me looking at a nice payday tonight. The evening game. Tyler wasn't impressed with the Bengals. I thought they got it done. To me, Title, a major takeaway, another offensive lineman goes down on an offensive line that wasn't that good to begin with. Still, I mean, two teams that I would say, if we were just being prisoners of the moment and only looking at what we saw this weekend, we would be downgrading both of these teams. Bengals are going to be plus 4.5 in Buffalo. I think I'm going to like the Bengals plus the points there. But what did you see in that Bengals game? And were you surprised that the Ravens were able to keep it close?
I was surprised the Ravens were able to keep it close, no doubt, especially since he looked good earlier, driving the ball. Baltimore did what Baltimore does, though. They just sustained very long drives, picked up third downs, and took the air out of the football. Then the half, 17-play drive, another one that was 10+. And next thing they knew, they were looking at a 10-9 lead, and that game was going to be close the rest of the way, no doubt about that. So, hung around. I mean, it all came down to the quarterback sneak. You get that, the whole game's different. Great football. I mean, if you're Baltimore, you have to be really happy with what you did. They competed. Bengals, I thought were gonna destroy them. Now you get Buffalo, two teams that underachieved. But man, both these teams. What's the over under in that game?
50.
Yeah, I like the over. I think we see points. I think Burrow can move it. I think Josh Allen can move it. Turnovers, both teams can, especially Buffalo can turn it over. Short field. I mean, I that's my favorite bet in that game, no doubt, than picking a side.
Tyler, what were your thoughts on the Bengals?
Unless weather's somehow looking really bad. Of course.
Yeah, of course. That's what I was going to say, but we'll talk more about that on Friday. Tyler, Bengals, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, the offense, it did its job. The defense was just getting ran all over, but it is Baltimore. They do put the ball on the ground a lot. And, I mean, if they don't run that stupid play where Huntley's jumping up over the line from 2 yards out trying to reach for the end zone, this game might be a lot different here, what we're talking about. So they make a dumb decision late in the game that ends up in a 14-point swing. They lose the game, which is so Baltimore-like to lose the game right there So it just worries me. And just like you said, they lost another offensive lineman. Eli Apple got banged up in that game. He's not the best corner, but he is their number one. Now they're going to go play the Bills. And I know Title said he liked the over, but after watching every team just hang points this week, I think next week you just watch all these games get tightened up and every game goes under. So at 50-something, I'm going under. I think you get like a 24-21 game.
I was about to try and bet.
Well, that's
you,
fine
but
with
we
me
don't have
because
a
I'm going
show
to take the
next
points
week.
with the Bengals.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the points. So far. I mean, I haven't made a bet yet, but I'm just saying that's the way
I'll probably bet that one live on the side because I don't want to get in early and then one team just looks very outmatched. Because it would surprise you if those two teams walked on the field and one just wiped the floor with the other one.
I think it'd be the Bills.
That
if
actually
someone
was.
does.
I wouldn't surprise me as much.
Okay.
I think the Bills could do. I mean, it's all about turnovers, though. We always say it, and Josh Allen's going to turn it over. But man, I think they can move. We'll see. Hopefully the weather's good. I don't want it to be a gross game. A snowy. I don't want that.
It's in Atlanta.
Oh,
no, it's not. No.
That's I would say that would have been the
That's
Chiefs,
the championship
right?
game.
Yeah.
No, this game is in Buffalo.
I swore they said any matches between these teams were neutral. Because if they'd have played that game, this field could be flipped.
Can you look that up real quick? And I'm going to ask Title a question about the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah,
Lamar Jackson.
That's really important because that would be the freest over of all time.
Yeah. Title, Lamar Jackson did not play. Robert Griffin came out and said, hey, I did it. I went out and played. Look what happened to my career, right? I think he was smart. Players on the Ravens said, hey, if Lamar was out there, we win that game. Interesting situation. Do you think that Lamar Jackson is a member of the Baltimore Ravens next year? And if he's not, where's he going to be?
No, I don't. I do not know where he's going to be. Green Bay.
Where would you like to see him then, let's say?
Green Bay.
Okay, take out your favorite team. Just for fun. Miami?
Send him with the Colts. Give him and JT the read option with Michael Pittman out there.
That's a fun
in a dome. Yeah, talking about this game, Lamar. I mean, my question was why him. They talked about how him and Huntley are buddies and so close. Why wasn't he at least there on the sideline for him? Like, I mean, that I don't. Why was
something's going on there, man? Something's going on. Him and Harbaugh got into it because even Harbaugh's coaching, you could tell. And before I was always like, he's going to stay. They can just franchise him. You know, what is he going to do? But Harbaugh might say, I'm not even giving him that tag. They might franchise him just to trade him. Tyler, did you find that information and talk to us about Lamar
everyone
Jackson?
on Twitter saying the same thing because I thought it was neutral site too. They were like, how is this not neutral site, but the AFC Championship game is? Like, this was the matchup that started all this. Yeah. If Cincy wins that game, this is in Cincy. Like, how is this not neutral?
Yeah,
to me, that makes
I can't answer that question. I just was telling you that I was under the impression the only one that would be was the AFC Championship.
Yeah, to me, that makes little to zero sense because you're kind of penalizing the Chiefs at that point.
Yeah, Lamar, where do you think he's going to be next year?
I'm going to go with our boy Brandon in the chat. I'm going to go Jets, and then I'm going to go with our very, very dark horse, and that is he ends up in San Fran, and that offense just goes on to steroids.
No, he's not. All right. I mean, I've been wrong before, and you've been right.
I'll
keep quiet.
And I don't know if CJ Stroud declared yet, and today's his last day to declare.
Mm-hmm.
If he doesn't declare, would it surprise you if the Raiders look around? They're like, we don't want any of these rookies. Swap Derek Carr for Lamar.
They wouldn't swap him for Lamar. They're going for Rodgers or Brady if they get a veteran.
Well, they said Brady's on San Fran's list also.
Yeah, and he could want to go there. He grew up as a Niners fan. Joe Montana was his favorite player.
Okay, yeah, they're saying Stroud declared. Okay, so he's in the draft. It just
he's going to be a Texan, huh?
Maybe he might even be a Colt. The Colts said they want to trade all the way up to 1. I can tell you.
Do you think they would take CJ Stroud over Bryce Young?
Yeah, I mean, after what he did against Georgia, some guys are just going to go right to that. They said the Colts are falling in love with Levis already. So
good, let them. He's not going to be good. Do you think he's going to be good?
He's got a strong arm. Big T and those guys made a good point about him. It's like he kind of reminds me of Josh Allen, like great arm. No one's really giving him anything. And then he comes in, he gets work with a good coach and he turns into something, but I don't see it. I think it's one and done here. I think it's Bryce Young and that's it.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll tell you what, CJ Stroud does have an NFL body. He looks pretty good in that semifinal game.
If he wouldn't have declared that, if I was Chicago, I would have got on the phone with everybody. If Stroud's like, I'm staying in school and that leaves the one quarterback at the top, because they would have been paying anything and everything to get up the one with a quarterback taken off the board already.
I think people still will, though.
Oh, they still will, but could you imagine what else Chicago could have got for that without Stroud in the draft?
Title, do you think they're going to draft a quarterback or running back with Fields?
Running back with Fields.
What do you think, Tyler?
They already said they're running it back with Fields.
They did?
Yeah.
Why would they do that?
They said the GMs came out and said they liked what Fields did this year with
because I felt like that was so obvious, and now they know they're fielding calls. Like people are gonna say that you're not going QB.
All right. I guess that's fair. So, all right, we've talked about all the games. Did I get a pick from you there on Bengals Bills title? -4.5.
I like the Bills.
You're gonna lay it?
No, I like the over. I like the Bills to win. I'm not laying the points. I'm not. I like the over.
Okay. Title likes the over there. Let's talk about tonight. We're talking touchdowns. It's our last Monday Night Football of the year. We've done a great job with the show all season. And Title, I got to give you credit, man. It's not like you're up all night poring over these things, right? You pull up DraftKings while you're on the show, and you're still giving out bomb-ass captains, bomb-ass cores. I'm pulling this up right now. I'm building it as we speak. We got a showdown tonight, and the Dallas Cowboys are going to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I know the league is just loving these ratings, right? Tom Brady versus the most popular team in the league. How could they not be so happy for this? I personally am looking forward to watching it. I think it's going to be a close game. Those who will watch Talking Touchdowns on Friday know that I like the under for this game, but we're going to start with you, Title. Let's talk about the betting aspect first. I know you can be quick. I know you might not even bet this game, but just tell us where you lean. Cowboys are -2.5 on the road. The total's 45.
Man, no strong lean on the total. Man, I'm going against Brady. There's no doubt about that. I'm on the Cowboys.
Okay.
Mike McCarthy makes me nervous. There's no doubt, but yeah, I think they can. I think they can run the football. I think Pollard get him in space. CD. I don't think this Buccaneers defense is like it has been the past couple of years. Definitely don't trust Brady's offensive line. You get to Brady, Micah Parsons. I mean, this team's in trouble. So, yeah, I'm on the Cowboys.
Tyler, betting. Cowboys, -2.5. The total's 45. I like the under. Tell us what you like.
I'm not going against the GOAT, who's getting his center back for this game too. I mean, neither team's going to be able to run the ball in my eyes. Both run defenses are 1 and 2 in the league. I just think it's going to force both quarterbacks to throw the ball. I don't trust Dallas' secondary against these receivers. They're going to try and bait Brady into throwing interceptions. That probably means Mike Evans is blasting down the sideline at least once or twice with the ball. Godwin can get into space. They could even throw passes to Fournette and White out of the backfield. And I trust Brady more. If this ends up a very close game, Dak's going to make mistakes. He's going to throw some picks. They said there's more money on Dak to throw a pick tonight than on either side of the game. So that should tell you something.
So then you know he's not throwing a pick. Bucs never lose that.
Oh, they'll lose that tonight. I mean, after watching Week 18, I mean, I watched the dude throw an out route that almost got house for 6 to hit the corner in the chest. And any other quarterback in the NFL, in their head, they go, I'm never throwing that pass again. What's Dak do the next play? Throws the same exact pass. There it goes for 6. I also think the dude's not healthy. I think something's wrong there. And I just can't trust Dallas here. I think Tampa Bay wins. I'm going to bet that 28-1 that they win the Super Bowl now, because when they win this game tonight, they're going to be 14-1 when we come back. So I'm going to bet that now and look for a hedge.
Yeah, but they're going to get housed by the Niners.
Sure about that?
Yes.
We'll see. if there's ever a spot Purdy looks across the field and shits his pants, yeah, he beat him in the regular season when there's nothing on the line. When he's pissed off on the other sideline with a playoff game on the line, oh, that could be the game he finally shits the bed spread.
You were so anti-Brady with me this whole run, and now you're jumping on the shit.
When I see these offensive linemen funneling back in, it's like, oh, this is the team we thought they were going to be after they were hurt all year. I got to take them.
I get it.
I mean, to be fair, when the game's on the line, the dude's throwing darts. He sucks for the first 55 minutes. And then that 2-minute drill, when he gets to call his own plays.
And, it's Brady we're talking about. He put it together last week. That might be all he needed.
Man, but Parsons going to be in the dude's mouth.
And not if he gets the ball out in 2.1 seconds.
Yeah, that's my thing there too. And Dallas' defense,
2 yards.
Like, we talked about San Fran's defense not looking as good as it did. Dallas's just really fell off. They were very turnover dependent earlier in the year. They're also kind of like more of a unit than a single player, like how Parsons is. If the other guys on the other side aren't getting any push and they start doubling Parsons, Brady might just be hanging out back here just lighting them up. So I got to take the Bucs here at the plus 120. And if you had him in teasers up to 8.5, I think that was also a solid spot.
Should I do that right now?
I mean, if you want to pair him with something in the upcoming.
Well, I love the under.
Yeah, I don't hate doing that. I know our guy JJ's been doing that. Taking them up to 8.5, knocking the total down a bit. Maybe I'll do that
as we're building this lineup. Title, you haven't been steering me wrong all year. My last chance to take advantage of your infinite wisdom. I pulled these prices up. CeeDee Lamb's the most expensive player on the slate. That's interesting. What are your thoughts here as I'm building a lineup? How are we going to do this, Title?
Yeah, while you're going to bet plus 8.5, the under and all that, I'll give you 3 Cowboys right against everything you're betting for, so you can.
I love doing that, though. You know what? I took the Vikings. I took an L there. But I stacked your thing, Danny Dimes and Saquon. So it felt like, like what's that meme from Always Sunny in Philadelphia? I'm playing both sides, so I can't lose, right?
There you go.
So I have no problem doing that at all.
I'm going to go Cowboys. I'm going to say the debating
our
the captain. Yeah, that's the tough part. Do I just go CeeDee? Do I go Dalton Schultz and get definitely different that way, who I also like today? Thinking. Yeah, let's go Dalton Schultz, who's going to be very low owned. Let's go
gives
Dak.
Us more money, right?
Yep, exactly. Let's go Dak in the flex. And then CeeDee and Pollard is close too. I mean, 8K for Pollard, 10.6 for CeeDee. Let's go Pollard. I like Pollard at 8K.
Okay. Tyler, help us out here. Who are you targeting here if you're going to make a Tampa-centric lineup?
Yeah, if I'm making mine and I'm going the other route, I know it hasn't worked much this year, but I'm putting Brady in that captain slot. Give me one of Evans or Godwin, either one you like more in the passing game, and then come back with Schultz on the other side. Tight ends have killed this Tampa team. I don't trust the running backs for Dallas, so I'm just leaving those 2 guys alone. And even if you wanted to play the kickers, I think this is going to be a low scoring. Both kickers could get up into the 9s, maybe even double digits here. So don't mind the kickers, but I'm Brady captain, one of Evans or Godwin, and Schultz.
Title, I like the under here tonight. What do you think of playing some defenses?
Yeah, I don't mind. I'm trying to think who's probably going to drop back more. Who do you think drops back? I guess who do you think leads this game?
Brady drops back more regardless. Brady's been throwing like an average of like 45 attempts. If Dak throws 45 attempts tonight, they fucking lost.
The problem with the Brady dropbacks are, like you said, it can be a 1-step drop, get it out in a second and a half, and you don't have any chance to get it. Because I'm just saying, like, I want the defense that has the most opportunity. So I guess I would have to play in my script. I'm playing Dallas D because I think loading up on Dallas.
Do you think you're going to get there, or?
I probably won't, but I don't mind going to the defense. I like the kickers more. I think defense probably comes in under-owned in this game. I don't mind your look, though. If you like the under.
So you like the kickers more than the defense because they're all right around the same price range.
I usually do, though.
Okay.
Robert in the chat's talking. Teams don't greatly like throwing towards Diggs. Diggs also tries to bait guys into throwing them. If Diggs is on Evans tonight, you just lob that ball up. That dude's 6'8".
I don't think they would do that. I would put him on Godwin.
Let that little 6'3" guy try and jump that route. When Evans puts his hands on that ball, you ain't pulling it away.
Godwin plays in the slot a lot, though. I don't know if he travels in the slot.
No, I'm saying Evans.
No.
I was saying I would think that he would be better on Godwin because, like you're saying, Evans is like a tight end out wide.
Diggs plays wide though. I don't think he moves in the slot really, and that's where Godwin.
So he's getting Evans all night.
Thank you. All right. Well, there you have it, man. There's our NFL season title. It's been so much fun having you on this year. This is one of my favorite shows, man. We get to actually, look back. We get to have our hot takes, had some W's. I definitely took some L's that Tyler loved to remind me of. But, hey, that's what happens when you're trying to predict all these.
We got a DFS screenshot off the show this year, too. We got to get 2 next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tyler absolutely smashed.
Yeah.
Spread's coming with tennis. Yep. He'll get a tennis one before the
Spread's
NFL
getting an
show
NBA one. He's hammering that 100K one. Watch.
Yeah, I'm pretty close a couple nights. There
you go.
Hey, I love those scores you're putting up, Title. And if you want to have access to the course I'm talking about, runpuresports.com. Head on over, become a member, get the access to the best in daily fantasy and sports gambling information. Since it's the last show, we're going to go to you both first. Tyler, we'll start with you. We're signing off for the year on the Monday show. Anything you want to tell the people? I'm feeling a little sentimental right now, right? I'm going to miss you guys doing this show every Monday.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good season. Tune into the NBA rundowns. We'll still be over there for the rest of the year. And I mean, football season went past quick this year, but we'll be right back in August again. We'll be back doing this show, talking reviews, giving our hot takes, and talking about teams winning the Super Bowl in week 3. Spread will be on some Jimmy G train. He might be in New York. And then he'll get benched for Mike White, and then we'll be telling him how good Mike White is. So be ready for that.
Oh, man. I had something set up to go to Title too, and you just made me laugh, and I forgot it. I was going to say, speaking of NBA rundown, Title, don't think you're off the hook that easily. I'm going to try and find a way. You know, I don't think we'll have time for a weekly spot, but I got to bring you in here and there. I watch you on the Hardwood Show, of course. If you guys are subscribed to the Run Pure Sports YouTube channel, which you should be, they go live at 4:45 and they give all the insight on the things. But hey, just like here, man, you could just pull up DK, give some thoughts, and we'll go down breaking. So I'll be reaching out to you, and we're going to make that happen because I love talking sports with you. But this is it, man. I'm sentimental, but you're going to bring us out of here. Give us words of wisdom as we wrap up the season on the Monday edition of Talking Touchdowns.
No, I appreciate that, Spread. Definitely. You hit me up. I'll be on the NBA Rundown show, getting closer to the playoffs, talking Bucs, talking Deer District, NBA playoffs a blast. Yep, go Bucs is right. This show is always a blast. I hope we can run it back next year. We did it last year as well. It's fun watching all the games, talking Monday, all the shows, like you said, talking this slate, DFS, what's going to happen in an hour. We can go back, have some fun. It's good seeing you guys. I don't see you guys too much. You guys do rundown shows. Other coordinators usually hop on that. I'm in the Hardwood show as much. See you guys in chat all the time. So it's always good seeing. Mainly, I see Tyler a lot more in chat than I do Spread.
Because lately I've been working in the afternoon, so I have you on my headphones, but I'm moving boxes, so I can't type. It has to be something egregious for me to stop and risk my trailer going up. But if JSU says something like Khabib can beat up Brock Lesnar, then I have to let the trailer go up so I can be like, what are we doing, guys?
Yeah, that's a premium show. Always a good time. They bring you up to lock. But, yeah, it's always fun doing the show. Hope you too. Big hit in NBA. Good luck. Keep crushing on the bet side. Tune in the rundown. Playoffs will be fun. Show's fun. Everyone out there, we appreciate you tuning in. It's going to be a fun run in the NFL playoffs and the NBA street. So good luck, everybody.
That's right. And Talking Touchdowns is not done for the year. We're still going to do our Friday show all the way up to the Super Bowl. And, of course, that's featuring Kurt. We'll be back Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern. Check out runpuresports.com for the best in sports gambling and daily fantasy information. Great having you guys on the show this year. Run Pure.